Opening comment about the game in general, and then we'll go to questions.
Sure. First off, I'm just, give credit to, Springfield in preparing for them and those receivers 2 years in a row, and John Lemire. I mean, just an amazing football team who had an outstanding year. Super proud of our guys. I've been saying all along, our schedule was certainly the toughest in Ohio, if not one of the toughest in the country. And each week, we almost had to prepare like it was a state championship week. And these guys rose to the challenge. We started a lot of new starters, and it didn't always come easy, but I think, weathering through those storms and weathering through everything they had to learn early prepared us to be playing our best ball in the playoffs. And I think we, played one of our best games tonight all around, against a team that was averaging over 40 points a game, 400 yards passing a game or whatever it was. So, just real proud of these guys, our staff, the school community, everything. It's, like I said, I'm blessed to be part of it.
Hey, Coach. Tony Bogan, KeonSports.com. Talk about the dual threat running from Bell and Bullock and how effective the run pass option was tonight.
Well, I got to. Where are those two? I'm proud of that. That's we feel we're one of the best in the state like that, and they ride that in there and read that defensive end. It was beautiful tonight to watch that. A couple times I wasn't sure who had the ball, and maybe the defense wasn't either. And that's that's just thousands and thousands, 10,000s of reps of that stuff, and against all different situations, and just super proud. And you see the fruits of that labor out there.
Ray Jeske, ESPN 990. Tom, can you talk about these two guys here? I think over 60 career sacks in the last 2 years combined, which is insanity. But I read that Moeller had 0 last week against these guys, and you mentioned earlier that John Lemire gets the ball out of his hand so quick, so it's going to be hard to get to him. 9 sacks and 11 TFLs is not all that hard. 20 plays behind the line of scrimmage is crazy. You two guys shared an embrace before you went out for one final drive, and each got a sack that one last time too. It was like, let's go get one for the record. But can you talk about them and just the pressure they were able to bring? The flip side of that is John Lemire's toughness, but my heavens, that's unbelievable what we just witnessed.
You saw the proof. We're saying we have the 2 best DNs in the state. The proof was in the pudding all year long, really. You just have to watch our games. All our opponents said it. I lament the fact that they're going to be gone and doing great things in college next year. But for 2 years, having the ability to coach these guys and really watch them, day in and day out in practice, quiet leaders, just always doing the right things, the hardest workers in practice, the hardest workers in the weight room. Wyatt went out and ran track, got himself faster. Michael has a chance to win the state wrestling championship. And they deserve it. They work hard at it, and it's fun to watch, and they're going to be missed for sure.
Can you guys speak?
And it's Michael's birthday today, by the way.
Can you talk to what it means to you, the two of you?
Me and Wyatt since freshman year, since 8th grade really, we've been lifting partners, just trying to make each other better every single day. And this last year, we were really just trying to see who could get the most sacks, but in reality, we knew that this was the ultimate goal of getting a state championship. And I'm just so proud of him. I really feel like all of our hard work paid off, and I feel like it showed tonight for sure.
Yeah, before the season, we were really talking about the sack record. We both wanted to break it. Our coach, Michael O'Malley, has a sack record, so we were really kind of messing with him in practice about it. He always teases us, like, I only played 15 games. I have 20 sacks. He don't have 20 sacks yet. And Kilby and I were really hungry to get sacks, to win games, obviously, and we tied. So that kind of makes me mad, but I don't have bragging rights.
And Wyatt, Mike had that, or Michael O'Malley had that 47 number. Petrowski had it. You had it for a little bit. Mike said you gave it to him a couple of years ago. Why?
Because it meant more to him than it meant to me. I kind of got peer pressure into it sophomore year by our coaches. I didn't really want it, but our coaches wanted me to have it, so I took it. And Kilbane was playing JV. I was rotated in a little bit on varsity, so I got the number over him. And then junior year came, and he was really close to Michael O'Malley and Jeff and all of them. He knows them a lot better than I do, so I just told him, you can have it. Go off with that number. I don't need it. I'll choose 34. I just like 34. Look cool.
Yeah, Michael and Wyatt again. knowing that Bryce is a very good passer, and he proved that throughout the season and in the playoffs, and your coach had said during the week that that he releases the ball pretty quickly. What were you able to do, other than the talent you've had all year and the success you've had all year for sacks and tackles for losses, in this game that kind of throttled that whole thing, that whole game plan of theirs to probably pass throughout the, like they have been all season?
Honestly, I don't really feel like we did anything different technique-wise or like anything like that. I feel like it was just the moment of the game. We've been working for this for so long. I just like played my heart out. Just wanted to it was just my mentality. I feel like I just wanted to really play for my brothers. And I feel like that's just the thing that changed the most for the Springfield and us. And all respect to Bryce Schonelmeyer. He is a great player. He's a very tough kid.
Well, in all reality, honestly, it wasn't us that was getting sacks. They were mostly coverage sacks. DBs did great. You can't throw it to a guy if they're not open.
Right. Okay, thanks, Wyatt. Mike?
Coach, you talked earlier this week about Casey and just his growth over the course of the season. When do you think there was a point this year where there was like a switch that flipped? And can you just talk about just how his growth played into the team's growth overall?
Sure. We didn't make a big deal of it, but the fact of the matter is, we had about, 9 new starters on offense, a couple guys that rotated in, so you could say maybe 8 new starters, 7, but the majority of guys were new, and the quarterback position. And, Casey came in with a lot of high expectations. You're trying to defend the state championship, and we're playing a brutal schedule. And I'd say around the first St. Ignatius game is where he came into his own, really, in both the passing game and the read. We talk about accuracy and decision-making all the time. And in both the passing game and read option game, that's where it sort of clicked for him, and I think he got a lot of confidence there. In the playoffs, I think he's completed 72% of his passes. So, when you start hitting there, from where he was in the regular season to that was a huge jump, and I think that's what you saw today. And he put a couple right on the money today that could have been caught even, that were outstanding. One desperation throw at the end, he just threw it up there. So he made great decisions throughout the playoffs, through accurate balls, and of course made great decisions in the read option game as well, as you saw today.
Coach Lombardo, you mentioned the first-year starters. You guys so many times have first-year senior starters. With the exception of these 3 next to you, you guys had a lot of juniors and a couple sophomores playing this year. Was this the youngest team that you've had?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. And that's kind of what we knew coming in. You sort of become teams might have thought early they were playing the number 1 teams in the state, and I thought we could have been. I don't know if we were early, I'll be honest. I don't know if we were. But when teams are giving you their best shot like that, and you're defending champs, et cetera, you get everyone's best shot. And these guys took them, and we won some close ones early, and we lost one. Where we didn't play real well, and we made miscues in the red zone, and gave up passes. We went back and looked at it, fixed it, and I think that really honed us in. That look, one, we're not invincible for sure. We knew that when we skated through the early games. And then said, okay, we just got to keep getting better and better and better. Our goal is always to be playing our best ball towards come week 11. And the schedule we have prepares us to do that.
Yeah.
That's the goal of it. You got to qualify for the playoffs, and then you want to be playing well, and that's what we did.
Ray, and then Norm.
Casey, I'm wondering if you could walk us through a little bit the last drive. It was 21-14, their sideline's going crazy. The stands on their side, the momentum had kind of shifted to their side of the stadium. And you had this pressure-packed final drive that you needed. And then the big throw through that wind, I was out there, and the wind, the rain, that throw to Kyan. And then Kyan, if you could speak to the catch. Could you walk us through that series, that play, and then what you did? Because beginning with Ignatia, you made some you got great ball skills, but that play there in that moment was extraordinary. And so could you walk us through that final big throw too, both of you?
Yeah, we already had a good drive going. We were pushing the ball down the field as we always do with our run game. And we practiced that corner route all week in practice. We practice it every day. And, Kyan, he's the best athlete on the field all the time. So when they're off of him and they give him that leverage, I knew he would go up and make the play.
Yeah, like Casey was saying, we did practice all week. And I could just, before the play was called, before he snapped the ball, I could just hear Coach Lambo in his head and just beat him with speed. So I beat him with speed, got to the outside, and I just made a play on the ball.
One thing I'd like to add before the question, we talked about the read option game in Marvin and the running game. You gotta look at, none of the linemen are up here, but you gotta look at those guys up front. And their dominance really in controlling the line of scrimmage can't go unnoticed. Certainly that's a big part of what we do to set up those kind of things. We get a lot of loaded boxes. So when you do that, you gotta either, you gotta read an extra player, or you got to be able to complete some passes over the top when they're not giving help. And that's kind of what we pride our game on, and we executed that today.
Okay, Marvin, I'd like to get a comment from you. Tell me about how the running game, even though our passing started mixing in more with Casey and Cayenne, and we started doing that. Tell me about, the run all year, about the line, about, this game. I think we were gimping a little bit, came back in. Josh did a good job while you were out, and it kind of ended the same as it did last year with St. Ed's running out the clock, toward the end of the game like that, with, just picking up first downs.
I just want to thank my whole line. I wouldn't be able to do anything I would do out there without them blocking for me, sacrificing their body. We went out there and we played our brand of football. That's all we could do. We knew we would have a good chance of winning this game if we didn't put the ball on the ground and get first downs like we usually do.
Great, thanks, Mark.
Okay, any more here? All right, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.